Well, we're back again for another edition of Te Akau TV. Reece Trumper joins us today there from Matamata. Reece. Bit of rain out and about over the last couple of days.
Yeah, there has been, and obviously the tracks in the north and south are very wet, so it's nationwide. But we're out of summer now, we're in the autumn, and we've just got to deal with it. We're at the back end of the season now, which has been a really busy season, but the staff continue to work hard, and the horses continue to look good, and they are racing very well.
And a couple of nice cards at Trentham this week and next. We've obviously got the Oaks. There's no runners in that this weekend, but next weekend we look forward to seeing the 2-year-olds spin around in the Manawatu size produce. How are they coming up?
2-year-olds coming up really well. We'll have 4 live chances there. Honestly, you can make a case for all 4 of them also. So we're really looking forward to that. They all worked up nicely at Tauranga, and they'll have another piece of work in between races on Sunday at Matamata. I'm really looking forward to the Manawatu size. It's shaping up to be an excellent field. But like I said, our 4 horses are all within a chance.
Well, let's kick off there at Trentham on Saturday there in race number 5. Open set weight and penalties 2,500. Here's one that's come back from Australia and the New Zealand Cup winner, Mesaben.
She's come back well. Couldn't be any more happy with her. She's normally a mare that races herself into form. It took her a couple of runs in the spring to get going. She had that freshen up. Hopefully it's the same sort of thing. Obviously, you'd have liked to have seen her do a little more in Melbourne, but she's come back here. We can't fault her. 2,500 metres is ideal. Track is very heavy down there, but she showed that she can handle it, get into the outside in that New Zealand Cup. So you got to make a case for her at Trentham.
And race number 6 there, the Group 3 Wentwood Grange Cuddle Stakes. My lips are sealed. Looks a mare in form at the moment. How is she going heading into Saturday?
Couldn't be any happier with her. She's obviously really come of age this preparation. She's got a really big race in her next season, I do believe. But the rains hit Wellington, which will suit her. The mile suits her. She's well weighted. Having Craig Grills on is a massive plus. She looks very hard to beat.
Race number 9 there, the listed Bill Tito Book Repair Specialist, Lightning Handicap, Open Handicap over 1,200. One of your favourites, Reece, Pocatero, gets in light at the weights, paying $20. Reece, will you be going and having a bet on this lovely mare?
Look, if the track wasn't in that heavy bracket, you'd be jumping in, but her heavy form is very fair. The whole family enjoys to be on good ground, so look, we couldn't be any happier with her. She'd get the blinkers on. She'll be nice and sharp. 1,200 metres at Trentham, I think, will suit her. I can make many cases for her. I think she's a very slick sort of mare, and she's got a great pedigree with her. Very thankful for Christopher Grace giving us the opportunity to train her, and to pick up some black type would be amazing, but she will struggle on that wet ground.
Did trial well the other day as well. Another nice mare for Trelawney there, and Petrucci draws number 10. Warren Kennedy on board.
Just hasn't had anything go right for her all season. Tracks and draws. She's been very unlucky. She's drawn a nice alley on Saturday. Warren Kennedy on. He's 1 for 1 on her. 1,200 metres will suit her. She can run time when she wants to. She's right up to the mark. She was good enough to run third in the Concord, run second in a Cambridge Breeders as a 3-year-old. So the ability is there. It's just which Petrucci will get on the day and what run and transit will get. But she'll get to the best part of the track by the end of the day from that draw. And being on the minimum, she's got to be a chance. But she does have to get through the ground.
And a nice bunch of runners down at Riccarton there. 12 take their place down south. Hunter and the team will be busy there. Kicking off in race number 3, 3-year-old set weight and penalties. Dream of the Moon. Nice last start winner. Draws barrier 2. Courtney Barnes takes him out.
Couldn't be any happier with her. Obviously, it was a good effort first up. Obviously, the heavy ground probably doesn't suit her, but she's got that class factor. And from that draw, she'll get a nice run in transit. It's a good opportunity for Courtney. Obviously, she's on some pretty nice stock there for us on Saturday. So hopefully she can put her hand up, but she's got the horse underneath her to do it.
Race number 4, there, the Open Handicap 1,400. Perfect scenario. Almost got the hat trick there in the White Robe Lodge race last start. Unluckily to just go down. How's he trained on? Draws barrier 7. Tristan Moody takes him out.
The lads couldn't be any happier with him. He was very stiff, obviously, not to get the trifecta of white robes. But 1,400 metres probably isn't ideal for him, but being a bit of moisture in the deck, it'll back like a mile, which will suit him. But it does have a bit of weight to carry. But Tristan Moodley is a really good apprentice jockey coming through the ranks, and we're happy to have him on, and his 2 kilos off is going to be beneficial.
Race number 5 there for the 2-year-old set weight and penalties, 1,000 metres. Best Rose seems to have trained on through her second placing into her victory last start. The daughter of Maurice, how's she travelling going into Saturday?
Really happy with her. The wet ground doesn't concern us one bit with her. She's trialled on it before and ploughed through it well. She's got a bit of X factor about her, this filly, and we've always liked her. She was very stiff not to win first up, but showed how good she is second up. Expect her to race very well again, only going a kg up in the weight, so she's very well placed again, and hopefully we can go on and get some black type with her at the end of this autumn preparation.
We have 3 lining up there in race 6, the Go Racing rating 65, benchmark 1200, headlined by Discretion Rules, Maricato, and Hooray for Harry.
Discretion Rules, really happy with him. Big drop in class from a 75 to a 65, so you'd expect to see him running very strongly in this. Having Tristan on that 2 kilos off is going to be a massive help to him. Expect him to race very well down the chute again. Maracatu, much improved effort last time. He's not a sort of horse you'd play cards with. He's not the most trustworthiest, but when he's on, he's on. The ability is there, and we all know it. He's a beautiful type. Wet ground, probably a big question mark for him. He just doesn't go on it one bit, really. And then Hooray for Harry was a gutsy effort to get his victory. He's been very unlucky, this horse, and there's no reason why he can't go on with it. He's obviously won down the chute. He's won on wet ground, so he does have a few things going his way, but he does need to take that next step up.
Race number 7, the Seaton Family Memorial Horata Gold Cup, open handicap 1,800, 2 again, Fellini and Elegant Lady.
Both in good order. Obviously, probably similar types. They can peak at the right time, but they don't win out of term. But we couldn't be any happier with the Elegant Lady. Obviously, she got very warm before the Danian Gold Cup, and Sam pretty much told us to put a line through it. She was ridden off before she even got to the gate, so she's a forgive one. She races very well at Riccarton. The 1,800 metres is going to suit her. Tristan Moodley's claim brings her down to a very competitive 52 kilos, which is ideal. And then Fellini, he just builds into his preparation, doesn't he? He does it every year. Wet ground doesn't worry him. 1,800 will suit him. Down in the weights, expect him to race very well.
Race number 8 there, the Group 3 Donaldson Brown South Island Thoroughbred Breeders Stakes, fillies and mares, set weight and penalties, family ties, draws barrier 2, Courtney Barnes on board.
She ran really well in the Dunedin Gold Cup. Obviously, the draw really killed us, but she ran home strongly. Back to the 1,800 metres. Does suit her. She's had a good freshen up. I really like her chances for Saturday. Wet ground won't be a worry for her. Expect her to race very well and hopefully pick up some more black type for some great owners.
Race 9 there, the rating 75, benchmark 1,200. Caravella, Jordan Barrier 1.
Wet ground, question mark. She just hasn't really come up this preparation as of yet, but the wet ground certainly won't help her. So she's a big question mark for if she runs.
And Vivacious, we know this mare's got plenty of ability, unfortunately drawn wide in barrier 15.
Just doesn't have luck on her side either. She was building into a nice cup campaign last preparation. She just had a bit of a mishap there. She came back. It was a good effort first up from a pattern that didn't really suit her, but she's going well. She likes Riccarton. She likes the chute. Expect her to race very well. Draw doesn't concern us too much with how the track will probably play by that time of the day. Expect her to race very well.
Race number 10 there, the rating 65, benchmark. Donna Chiara been a real model of form and consistency recently. Again, drawn wide in 13, but shouldn't be too much of a problem later in the day race.
1,600 metres looks ideal for her. She runs on very strongly. Wet ground, no problem. Her action will suit that. Really happy with the way she's heading into it. Her form does look very good. From the draw, she should get into a nice spot midfield. We won't ride her too handy, being the first time she gets to the mile, but she'll race very well.
And over to Mooney Valley there, 2 take their place there on Saturday. First up in race number 5, they've got Savoir Fair, who draws barrier 1, has the apprentice Luke Cartwright on board.
Unfortunately, missed his race at Yarra Valley on Sunday due to abandonment, due to heavy rain. He looked a real chance in that race, but he's drawn a nice soft alley on Saturday. The lads seem very happy with him. 2,000 metres is going to suit. Obviously, it is a big step up in class, but we definitely know he's got the ability, and a bit of juice in the track certainly will bring him into it.
And race number 8 there, the Group 2 packaging needs Sunline Stakes. Quintessa looks like she's starting to find a bit of form, and nice to see her get a nice gate in barrier 4.
Really good effort last time. She finds herself back to even weights at weight for age. She looks very well placed. Daniel Stackhouse gets on with her really well from barrier 4. She'll get a nice run in transit. Just 12 months ago, she was just getting pipped in the Alistair Clark. So she likes Mooney Valley. Expect her to race very well in the form she's in.
Excellent. We'll have a quick look at Matamata there on Sunday. Got 5 runners starting in race number 3, the maiden 2-year-old, 1,050 metres, Fury of Flight, the son of Zoostar, draws barrier 11 with Craig Grills on board.
Gorgeous looking horse. He ran really well in his first run. He's been spelled, come back. He's trolled up really nicely. Have a lot of time for this colt. He's obviously in the same syndicate as Return to Conquer. So it'd be ideal. The draw doesn't help us, but we'll just leave it up to Craig. He knows the horse very well, but he looks to have a lot of ability in the tank. Don't worry about that. And 1,000 metres is certainly going to suit him around Matamata.
And race number 5 there, the maiden Fillies and Mares 1,400, the Sky Above, got so close to her maiden victory there last start. Can she go one better this weekend?
Look, we're just deciding what race we start in. There's the Fillies and Mares 14 or the straight 1,400. Obviously, the Pearl Series bonus is attached to this Fillies and Mares race, which has a lot more appeal for us and the owners. So if we started in that, we'll just leave it up to Craig. She has drawn wide, but it's a long run down to the first corner at Matamata, so he'll be able to work it out. But she's going really well. She definitely deserves one. She is one of those horses that I do believe when she gets one, she'll just put 2 or 3 of them straight along together. She's got a lot of ability, but she'll need a great ride from Craig if we start in the Fillies and Mares 1,400, but he's riding very well.
Excellent. Race number 6, 2 take their place, rating 65, benchmark 1,400. Sense of timing. She'll enjoy a bit more ground, stepping up from 1,200 metres to 1,400 the start.
Yep, she will. She was good first up after a long layoff, so there was plenty of improvement. She's probably still on the way up. You can only get them so fit at the trials, but race day fitness is definitely crucial, but she's going the right way. Tristan Moodley sticks with ship. Happy about that. Expect her to race very well again.
And when Stars Align draws barrier 1 with Craig Grills on board.
Really credible effort. First up being a gelding at New Plymouth. I thought he chased home a very smart one that looks a good chance in the Wellington Guineas and Archaic Smile. Having Craig on, he's got to lug around a big amount of weight, but he is a horse that is big and strong and can do it, and expect him to race very well on his home track. He's a horse that's got a lot of ability. He works up nicely at home, and being a gelding now, his brain is properly on the job.
Excellent race. Well, that wraps up the runners for the weekend. Where are we going for the best bet?
Look, I do think My Lips Are Sealed is going to be very hard to beat at Trentham. She's got a lot of things going her way, and she finds herself in a very even race, and she was beating most of these in her last couple.
Excellent. My Lips Are Sealed there at Trentham on Saturday. Thanks for your time again, Reece. We'll catch you again sometime soon.